What is asbestos?
Asbestos is actually a mineral that you mine from ore deposits in the ground. There are 3 commercial types of asbestos fiber. Chrysotile, also known as white asbestos fiber, amosite, also known as brown fiber, and chrysotile, also known as blue asbestos fiber. At one point early in the century, asbestos was found to be very useful because it maintained its integrity under high heat, so that companies that were looking for insulation type materials could use it as an ingredient in the insulation material to keep it sturdy longer on hot temperatures. The problem with asbestos is and was that once it gets put into the product, it doesn't change. It stays, it keeps its shape, keeps its form. And when you disturb products that have asbestos fiber as an ingredient in it, it gets into the air.
What is mesothelioma?
Mesothelioma is a cancer or tumor that attacks the mesothelial lining of either the lung or the abdomen. To understand what the mesothelial linings are, your lung, when you're breathing, expands and contracts. The mesothelial lining around the lungs keeps the organs intact within your cavity, and it allows the lungs to expand and contract. The problem with mesothelioma is when it develops within the mesothelial lining of the lung, it becomes a very hard, sometimes hard as rock, tumor, and can be inches thick, and it interferes with the ability of the lung to expand and contract. Because there are nerve endings in the mesothelial linings, it's also very painful. So ultimately what happens is the cancer overtakes the body's defense systems, encompasses or encapsulates the lung with this hard layer of rock-like material, and suffocates essentially the person who is suffering from it. The only known cause of mesothelioma is exposure to asbestos fibers. The problem with mesothelioma is it doesn't take a lot of exposure to develop it. We've represented individuals, wives of husbands, who worked in asbestos places where asbestos was being used. They would bring the asbestos home on their work clothes. The wife would then do the laundry, shake the clothes out, and that would be a sufficient enough exposure to cause the development of mesothelioma in the wife.
What trades are known for asbestos exposure?
Asbestos was used for a long time, and during that time many different types of trades were exposed to asbestos through contact with these products. Trades such as boilermakers, insulators, electricians, plumbers, railroad workers, brake mechanics, all came into contact at various times with products that actually contained asbestos. The list goes on, and there are trades that you would never think of. For instance, jewelers. At one time, jewelers used molds that contained asbestos. Asbestos was also used in consumer products such as hair dryers, ironing board covers, and things of that nature. So people that didn't even know they were being exposed to asbestos were actually exposed.
Why should you choose Keefe Bartels instead of other firms to handle your case?
What I want people to understand is that if you're in the unfortunate situation where you're looking for a lawyer to represent you because you have some kind of asbestos-related condition such as mesothelioma, that the television ads and some of the websites that you contact aren't necessarily being manned by the individuals that are really going to represent you. When you come to our website, when you make a phone call to our number, you're going to speak to me almost immediately, you're going to meet with me, and I'm going to be the actual individual that represents you in court, fights for you in court, and tries to get favorable results for you and your family.
Keefe Bartels, recovering your losses.